Hi, my name's Declan, and I always liked art, but I was never really sure what I wanted to do with it, even if I wanted to do something with it. So I came to ASHCAN kind of with no hopes or expectations whatsoever. I ended up learning a bunch of new styles and things about art that I had never even known existed beforehand. So coming here just really gave me a better grasp on art in the world and what I'm supposed to do for applying to colleges and how I'm supposed to work with my portfolio and stuff. I've been thinking about applying to SVA, Pratt, Parsons for fine art fields. Fine art has always been something I've been really into in art because you're free to do whatever you want and you're not really locked down to a specific style or media. So fine art was really open for me, and that's why I was always attracted to it. I'm personally homeschooled, so it's definitely makes me able to take a different approach into applying to schools and creating a portfolio because I have more time on my hands to do the things I'm actually interested in and what I want to pursue. Being able to come here during the day and stuff helped me dramatically improve my portfolio and my skills as an artist just because I had more time to do it. The great thing about ASHCAN is they provide a service where colleges come and look at your portfolios. Schools like SVA, Pratt, Parsons, they come and they give you feedback on your work and what they want to see from you. This is one of the things I was working on. It's a self-portrait of me. It's kind of the yin and yang of the person, like the light and the dark, and they're connected together in the middle. I wanted to do a self-portrait and I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do something a little different than just the traditional your face on a canvas. I thought it would be cool to take the approach of doing two different styles of me, one of the light and one of the dark, like the yin and yang of the person. I thought it would be a really cool idea to have them split off, so this part of me is cut off and it continues on to the second part of the canvas, so it's all one as a whole, but it's two different sides of the person. This right here is a portrait of socks. I come from a big family. I'm one of 8, and we keep all of our socks in these baskets. I thought it would be a good way to symbolize my family, how we're all like different people, but we all are very close and we like to stick together, and really nothing can, break the bond we have together. I thought socks would be a good way to portray that without being too cliche. I chose to make it big because I have a really big family. The size of the canvas could capture the amount of siblings and family we have, because it's definitely bigger than the average family. Our family is a little unorganized, so we thought instead of losing all of our socks, it would be best if we just kept them all in one basket, and then if you needed socks, you'd come and get them when you wash them, put them in the basket, so it'd just be easier for everyone. They're all different kind of socks, mostly not pairs at all, and one sock that you'll never find the other one to the pair to. It followed a reference loosely. I didn't want to do the exact same as the picture I'd taken, but I did use a reference photo because it can definitely really help when you're doing things like this if you have something to look at while you're painting it, just for light and shadow and everything. This right here is another self-portrait of me. Pen has always been my favorite material in art, and I always like doing just like really messy strokes and like very chaotic strokes, but then have it come together in the end to actually be a fully formed image. This has always been my favorite style of doing things, and I just wanted to create something that really portrayed what I like to do in art, so I thought it would be best if I did it in my favorite style of art. It is from a selfie I took on my phone, and from there I printed them all out and converted them to black and white, and then from there just did the pen drawing using those as references. This here is a portrait of my room. Again, I did the same, loose, flowy style in the pen strokes. I created some own things of my own ideas, not on the reference image, of just pen drawings and things that I was interested in to kind of get a new grasp of the stuff I like in my art, so it's a little bit of me in it. So this is my sketchbook here. Sketchbooks are definitely really important for just working on your own personal style or coming up with new ideas for projects and stuff. I highly advise just keeping one, and whenever you come up with something, a new idea you want to work on, or just an idea you want to draw out, just to test it to see if it looks good, a sketchbook is always nice to keep, so then you can just do that whenever you need to. All of these, for the most part, have not been used I didn't use a reference image for any of them. I just kind of started drawing with not a whole lot of plan and how I wanted it to end, and just kind of see where it ended naturally and what the finished project would be like, just without planning at all and just starting to draw. It helps me because if I come up with an idea that I'm not sure I want to do, or not sure if it will look good in a real project, I can just make some sketches of it in my sketchbook and see if it looks good and see if I would want to actually make a real project out of it or not. So it definitely helps for you to keep a sketchbook so you can just put down any ideas that you would want to do in a real project and just look back on that and reference it to help you come up with new ideas and new projects. It's definitely nice where you can just kind of go into your own world and do whatever you want, or try to relieve any stress you've been feeling during the day and just take it out in your sketchbook, and it's definitely really nice. It's also nice to have a sketchbook purely for ideas for your projects. Like this, I was doing a pen drawing of my room just to help you figure out the proportions and the style you want to do in the actual portrait, just to sketch it out in your sketchbook, so then you can really have a good idea on how you want to go about it when you move it to the actual project. These are all just, different ideas, trying to figure out how I wanted to go about the actual project. Just printing out different images of it, doing little sketches, small scale, so when you take it to the actual big drawing or whatever size you're doing, you know how you want to go about the proportions, what measurements you need to do, and it just helps a lot. This was the early sketches of a pen drawing portrait I was doing of myself, and I was just kind of working on the style and trying to figure out what style looked best, whether to use color or not. So it's really helpful just to keep that, to be able to figure those things out. I don't do this for all of my projects, but definitely for ones where it's in the early stages of a project and I'm not really sure where I want to take it. So just doing this definitely helps you figure out how you want to go about doing your project.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below to stay updated and for more tips on how to make a great art portfolio.